Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video is just going to be a little bit different than what I normally have, and it's going to be how I made these traveling tea books. So if you have not seen my video, I saw somebody else's video about how to make these and decided to make some. Really enjoyed it. And then I had Miss Karen ask me to do a video on how I made them, so I'm gonna do it, but I'm also going to try to find the original video that I watched, and I will link that so you can watch that lady's video and give her credit. I you know, it's not someone that I'm regularly subscribed to, but so anyhow, supplies you're gonna need. So to start out, and I'll try to put this all in the description, you're going to need 4 12 by 12 pieces of pattern paper. So for today I picked out this as my cover, and then these are going to be my inserts. And for me, I like to pick, you know, colors that kind of go together. So then you'll need elastic cord. I'm going to go with the white because it matches the pattern paper better. You're going to need to pick out beads. If you want beads, you don't have to. That's an optional thing, as well as the charm. So for today, I picked out those beads there because they all kind of their colors kind of go together, and hopefully I don't lose them. And then I picked out this feather charm to go on, and then I also got lobster clip and the attachment to put them together. So that's the supplies to actually make it. And then the tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need a paper cutter. You're gonna need a corner cutter. Any'll do. You could have one just as simple as this, or even more elaborate. You're gonna need a pair of scissors. You're also gonna need a laminating sheet and a laminator right here. And I don't have the greatest setup for showing something like this, so my desk is full, so doing the best I can. You're also going to need a scoreboard with a bone folder. You're going to need double-sided tape, and the thinner the better, my suggestion. I would actually go thinner than this. I don't even know what that is, but if I could go a little thinner, I would. Then if you are doing the jewelry, you're going to need some tools for the jewelry, and you're also going to need a 1/8 hole punch, and that's what that looks like in there. And then a paper piercer, which I don't own one of those, so I'm kind of improvising. And I had this, I think it's really meant for clay, but I was looking for something with a really fine point for dot painting, and I never used it for that. It was still in the packaging, so I'm piercing with this, and then I'm making my hole bigger with, I think they've called this a stylus, but I had this for the dot painting too, but it looks very similar to what, you know, so it worked. And so that's really the tools you'll need. One other thing the lady suggested is making a template for your holes. I struggled with that not with making this, but keeping the holes, as you can tell, in line, because it's very hard to see where you're actually punching. Or maybe it's just me, I don't know. So yeah, so I'm gonna just show you, and I apologize beforehand because this is not something I normally do. I don't normally teach anything to anyone. And like I said, I'm gonna try to find the original video and link it in the description, so you may want to watch her instead of me. That's completely up to you. I need to just get over it, and maybe people just want to watch me. So yeah, let's get started. And I am going to probably speed up portions of the video because there's no need in us sitting, you know, watching me cut paper over and over again. So with this 12 by 12, you can actually get 3 T notebooks. So like I got 3 of this paper with the inserts and the other ones I had, so I made 9 originally. So if your paper is directional, you do want to keep that in mind, and because you want to, you know, make sure what you're showing is what you want. All right, so I want my paper to go this way, so we are going to go 3 3/4. So that's right here. I want to do that one. Actually, I'm going to go this side. And I'm just going to do that 3 times. And the reason I did that is because I ripped this out of my paper pack up at the top, and I don't ever like that ragged, perforated edge. So I usually choose to cut that off because you are gonna get rid of that much of, and I just put that over my scraps. Now each of these you're gonna cut down to 6 3/4. And if I can, I will try to put this all in the description. And you're gonna have this left over for your to go in scraps, so you could potentially use that for something else. So 6 3/4. Again, left over. So those are our 3 covers, and basically you can do it a couple of ways. So after you're done with these, if you want to keep working on the covers first, depends on if you want to do your cuts, but then you could get confused with what's what. So we'll just do it. I think she did it in the order of doing the covers, and then every once in a while my corner thing does not want to cut right. I don't get it. I'm gonna invest in a more expensive one, I think. So we got round corners. Next, we're going to score. Score them. at 2 7/8 and 3 7/8. And that's gonna make your spine. But it's very important that you score it before you laminate it. I have made that mistake. I'm trying the Traveler's Notebook. And the reason being, I was watching a video where they didn't do this method, but that's how I wanted to make mine, but I screwed it up. So. I don't like to press too hard, so I go over mine multiple times, because if I press too hard, I poke holes in them. Alright, so now that they're scored, you can laminate them, and I have found the best way for me is to put one at this edge, because you don't have to cut two sides. You only have, yeah, you know, I mean 4 sides. You only have to cut 2. Sheesh. So I do that, and I don't have the laminator warmed up. So let me get that turned on while we're doing this. And then the third one, I try to put down at the bottom so that I only have to cut 2 sides on it. And you're using up as much laminating sheet as you can possibly use. And I just try to make sure I get it as even as possible on those edges. And then you can get something. I suggest getting something because it will make it easier for things not to move, like this. That way you can just slide it into your, this is like thicker cardboard. And the laminator is heated. So let me move this over here. Alrighty. So I'm gonna move it so you can see what I'm doing. Then when you're ready, just take your board up to the edge and start sliding it until it catches. And then I'm gonna move back. And the reason I'm keeping the, I'm actually keeping the cardboard here, whatever you want to call it, so that it keeps it level for the third one to go in. But then I have to move it because it'll hit my stuff at the front of my desk. Alright. And I try to hold it up because I don't want it to bend. I didn't really think about that when I ordered the laminator, but I should have. I should have had a tray. I usually have a wire thing here. The ones I've used at work. So they'll have a wire kind of rack that hangs on either side that'll keep your stuff straight. Because if you let it bend, then you get like a warp in it. So you don't want that. Okay, we're done with the laminator. We're gonna turn that off and set it aside. Okay, and then I'm going to bring back in the paper cutter. And I don't need to measure here. I'm just gonna eyeball. And basically what I'm looking for is a border here to cut them down. So and if you screw it up, you can always trim it with scissors if you want. But this is how I do it. And then this one, I cut the end off, and this little piece. Now, set that aside. You want to come back in. So this side's rounded already. So we just need to do this one. That one. Oh, that did not like that way. So if it never cuts, try it the opposite way. Okay, that one's round, round. And didn't cut very good. I've also resorted to using, I don't know, I think this one's just kind of a crappier. I'll also use the other. And then maybe it's me. Maybe I cut the paper. I don't really know. You probably can't see it on there, but there's like a little, I don't know if you can see it. Probably can't see it. But there's a little piece. Can't see myself. Maybe it's just my eyes. Okay, so we got a round, round. We got one more here. Okay, so now we have our 3 covers laminated, and the other thing you can do is you can come in and do your folds. I like to do that, so you kind of know that they're gonna be good. I don't remember if she did that in her video, but okay, so I think she stopped at this point with these and set them aside. So I'll do that. And then we're gonna go to the pattern papers and we're going to cut them down. So this is the part where I'm gonna end up speeding up. I'm gonna figure out, this is, so where I tore my paper off, I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of just rougher. So I'm gonna use that because we are going to cut this down to 11 7/8 by 3 7/8. So this is gonna be the top that I cut off. So I need to get my measurement out. So I'm going to go to 11 7/8. And just be careful and make sure your measurements are actually in 8ths, so you know. And clearly I am off on where I should be. My measurement thing is off. Okay. Didn't have it out the whole way. But this paper got a little bit wet because my cat jumped up on it with wet paws. And it is kind of hard on these to cut down an 1/8 strip. Sometimes I've had the paper want to rip on me. So just be careful of that. Okay. And then, so I cut that off there. So now we want to go 3 7/8. So you're going to do 3 3/7 3 times. The alternating of the, when you cut the 1/8 off. So now you have 3 of those. So this is the part where I'm going to speed up, and because, yeah, where's my group at? Because nobody wants to watch me cut all of these like that and be silent. So, be right back. Okay, now we want to bring in our scoreboard, and for just this purpose of the video, I'm just going to do one set. I'm just going to do one set for $1. I'm not going to make all 3 bucks because I've been showing you in 3s, but so your pattern paper you're gonna put down here, and get your bone folder, and you're going to score at 3/8, 3 1/8, and then 5 7/8, and then again at 6, and then at 8 3/4, and then at 11 1/2. And then what you're going to do is turn your paper this way, and you're going to do a 3/8 score line the whole way. Okay, and I moved. So be careful not to move your paper. So I usually do this. And I just kind of go back and forth the whole way down so I can kind of keep it more firm against the edge. So I'll probably speed this up now for the purposes of the video. Now we are going to fold all of these, and we're gonna bone folder them. Sorry if my elephant's distracting. I meant to kind of cover him up, but I forgot. So This is the fold that's kind of the trickiest because there's only 1/8 difference between the two, because that is going to be your spine. Fold that one, and then you do this bottom one. Okay, so now I'm gonna do that to all 3 and speed it up. We are going to do take your scissors, and we're going to go diagonal across this intersection like this. And on this side, you're gonna go and only cut, where am I at in my camera? I'm sorry. So if you can see, you got your line here. You're gonna cut at an angle here. So basically, but you're not gonna go the whole way through like you did over here. You're just gonna cut the same cut of this section there, okay? And then over here, and you may want to watch the other lady's video. She may explain it easier. Cut that one and do the same thing here. And when you do this one, you can actually just turn your paper and cut along your fold. So then it removes that part, okay? And then you're going to, where did it pull out your double-sided tape. And so normally I would just cut all of them at the same time and then come back and do this part, but I'm just gonna do one, and then I will speed up the video again after I show you this one. So basically, you're just gonna run your double-sided adhesive. I mean, I guess you could use glue for this, but I just following what I've seen. So that side, and then we'll do this side. And at one point I was actually trying to get like really in there with the double-sided tape, and I would use my scissors and cut at an angle, so that way I was getting my, and then you'd have an angle to start that side. So if you want to be that precise, you can on your angles. This is kind of how I would do it, and then I would go in with my scissors. So, okay. Not sure if I should speed up the video or just cut out portions of making the others, but I think I'll just speed it up and make it easier. So now, let me grab my tweezers because I suck at this stuff. And you want to remove, I know it's going to be painful, but I really wonder, does other people, because when I watch videos, people rip it off like so easy. I'm like, how are you doing that? I struggle. So there's that one. So basically what you're gonna do is fold it in Oh shoot, I forgot to make the other cut. Oh man. Okay. I can still fix it. All right. Blooper number 1. Okay, so I forgot a step. Before you do the sticky tape, you do this part, okay? And you cut your angle. So I forgot that part. Sorry. We'll do that on the next one. So now that I have that, now I can fold this over. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. Sorry, it's morning. So, oh, that one came off easy. I got it. Okay. Now on some of mine, I have not liked this little edge, so I have went back with my scissors, and I don't know if that's just me, I'm not making it right or what, but I just go back with my scissors and trim that off. So there's your first folder. Okay. So we'll do this part right next on this one. So before you do anything else, just go here. And I didn't make them all equal, I just eyeball it. Then you're gonna do your side cut, that cut just to the seam. Hopefully I've been on camera. Like I said, I'm not used to doing these types of videos. Okay. We have our 3 pockets done, and now we need to do our cover. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna make that cover. So we are going to use our template, and mine's not perfect. I'm not really worried about perfection. It's homemade, handmade, whatever you want to call it. And you want to mark your dots. Gonna let that dry for a minute. I'm just going to straighten up all of this trash that I created. Also, I kind of just eyeball the center of what I think. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. So, I poked my hole on that side. Now I take the smallest stylus and I poke it through, and I come back out. Now, that hole is not quite big enough for the elastic cord that I have. I mean, I haven't really tried to get through there, but I know I'm not going to be able to. So I turn it around, the stylus around for the next size up, and I poke through it again. So whatever you want to use is up to you, but I poke through it again, and I use it this way, so that way my elastic cord has something to kind of catch back on when it's you know, done. So center hole's poked. Now we need to bring in our 1/8 hole punch, and this is where I was saying I wish this was clear here, because then I could see what I'm stamping, but like I can't, so I have to go like this and then kind of put my thing down and poke, and then I just move over and do the same thing. And sometimes I get a little off if I try to go too fast, but you know, they're not perfect, but they're there. So there we got our holes. Now we need our elastic cord. So as you can tell, it's going pretty fast now. Once you have this part done. Now I just did what she did, left my cord on there. I always like to determine which way I'm going to go with it, because I followed her, which I don't know that it really matters, but you want to go from the outside of the cover in. Well, this part matters because you want to make sure you have a little elastic out. You want to go up to the top one and down, you know. So you want these to be in the inside. So then you're gonna go back through the center and then down through the center, and then back up through the last hole, and then back through there. Now I'm gonna pull mine through. I need to just want a little bit more. Then you're gonna take this end and come back in the center hole, okay? And then we're going to cut off our elastic. You're gonna leave some because you're gonna come back through the center hole on this one end, right? So now on that side, you only have elastic at your ends, and you're just gonna tighten it. Not too tight, but tight enough, you know. And you're gonna tie here. I struggle kind of with this part. I try not to have my tie right at the hole that I created, because you're gonna have a knot there too. So to create less bulk in that center, I try to go to the left or right of it. This part, for me, is the hard part, because I can't keep the first knot to get to the second knot sometimes. It's ridiculous. And once you have a knot in this elastic, it's really hard to get it out. So, you know, and you want to make sure you're pretty tight on your knot before you cut. So that way, and I would not cut the whole way down, because I did that on one and it started the knot started going. So that's kind of what you want to have. And then so now you could slide these in and I could show you how they go in, but I'm not. I'm just going to go ahead and go over to the clasp, because there's no point in putting them in just to take them out. And she suggested you go 10 inches. for this one, and I would suggest the same. Okay. And your beads. So there's my hole. Okay, how does it not fit? Okay. That bead's not gonna fit. If this bead fits. So that was the other thing when I didn't know, because I've not dealt with beads before. That one doesn't even want to let me go through it. Okay, so that one will. I'm just gonna have to pause the video or something. Since what I had picked out, I didn't think to try the cord, so there we go. That's not bad looking. Okay. Sorry about that. So she showed putting her elastic right in this hole. I didn't really try to do it that way, but I guess I could try. I was using my tweezers, but I'm not sure if that was the best solution, but I can't get the second one in. So I'm gonna go back to my method. So if you're having trouble, you just pick your needle nose tweezers up and grab the end of it and then stick it through. And then on this side, you can grab it and then pull your tweezers through. So then I try to make sure my elastics even. Let's pull tight with those so that I can tie it. This is the part where you do not want to tie this knot tight. You want to leave it very loose. Okay, very loose. And then you want to test your thing. She puts her dividers in when she tests hers. I don't, because there's not a whole lot to it, you know. And I just kind of go like this and see. I don't want it to bend the laminate, so that's kind of, for me, I want to loosen this one just a smidge. But that's what I try to do. But you can go her route too. I'm just making minor adjustments as I go, because, yeah. I feel like that one's gonna be better. Because even when you pull it apart, you can see where it starts pulling at this plastic and bending it, or laminate. So once you find your knot's good, then you want to make your knot tight, and you want to cut off your extras. Then you can pull that, and then we can add in our, so basically you take your first one there and you slide in your thing. Then this one, you want to make sure you don't get the one with your knot, because that's not the one you want. You don't want to see the knot. And you don't have to do these with single-sided. You could do double-sided too. I just haven't tried that yet. And then you just slide in your folders, and then there you go. You have your tea notebook. So there's what it looks like. And then here is where you can hook on the charm. So sorry about the plastic. Should have had those out. So my mom has one of those magnifying things because she used to do a bunch of jewelry. I need one of those. Sometimes I look at these, my eyes go cross-eyed, like, what? So basically, you want to use your tools to open this ring. I don't know why it will not open for me. Usually they open just fine. Put your charm on and your lobster clip, and we're gonna close that back up as soon as I can get a good hold on it. Okay. And then closed up. Now you can, the other ones I had silver clip, these silver lobster, oh gosh. I keep going down in the actual hole. Okay. Really? Did I just break it? No, okay. If you're not so klutzy like me, you have no problem, probably. Let me... As soon as I try to go in the elastic, I go down in the actual hole. This is ridiculous. Okay, hold on, people. It shouldn't be this hard. I'm not sure why I'm struggling, but if you're like me, your old thumbs, you can use your tweezers to help. There we go. So now we have a charm clipped on there that can be removed very easily. When these ones, I didn't have the lobster, so they're on there, and they'd have to pull them off to put them on something else if they wanted to change it. So that is how you make your tea books. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I will try to list everything and link products, as well as find the original video and put this out there. Thank you again, Karen, for asking for the video. My apologies it takes so long. I'm not used to these types, and hopefully I did okay. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Bye.